Lots
of
Terra. I'm Tara with Tara Simon Studios.
And I'm Coach Nikki.
And that may have been a cringe intro, but it goes for this video, how to find your tone. And we were just giving you a demonstration in the intro of two completely different actually, types of tone. One that's higher and more flute-like, bird-like, and then one that's, like a gorilla.
Got some girth to it.
Girth. Wow, that's a word.
Potatoes.
That's a word. Okay. So how do we find our tone? And the thing about this video that I want you guys to understand is that this is all about classification, and that's not an easy thing to understand. So I'm gonna put it out there. This video is gonna give you the opposite end of the spectrum, and then there's gonna be gradients in between. Okay. However, we do recommend, and it doesn't have to be with us, okay? And I want to put that out there because we don't want you to think like we're selling this, but we really recommend that for finding your tone classification, you get with some coach. It doesn't have to be us. We'd love it to be, but somebody, at least for one lesson, that knows what they're doing, to tell you, hey, yeah, you have a thick, deeper, richer tone, or you're more of like, an alto rich versus a soprano high belts rich. There are different classifications, and once you know exactly what you are, then you're going to really benefit from another video that we're going to be releasing, how to change your tone. Okay, but right now, today, we're going to give you a video on how to determine your tone. What is your tone? Okay, where do you stand? So by doing this, we're going to give you some examples. Okay, Coach Nikki, how would you define your tone? I mean, you've heard her in other videos, and if you haven't, check her out. She's amazing. But how would you classify your tone in this video?
Well, my tone is a little bit more meaty.
Meaty?
Yes. I would say more like an Adele or a Whitney. Just gonna fill the room type of.
Yes. I agree with that. So it's thick, it's booming, and we try to create visuals around defining tone as well. So if I had to define Nikki's tone in an image, it would be something that's like a velvet piece of fabric that's like a cobalt blue. It's a deep, dark, bold tone, and it also feels really good.
I like the way you're talking. Yes.
Yes. But I believe that to be true, right? There's definitely no thinness to Nikki's voice. She has to create that, and that goes to that video of how to change your tone. We're not going to get there today, but that would be Nikki's definition. Now, if I were to define my tone, I would say that my tone is a little more in the middle of a very thick gorilla-like / flute-like bird-like. I'd say mine is a little bit more forward and pointed and frontal, and I think it's thick, but I don't think it's anywhere as booming and deep as Nikki's. I have to change my tone to make it sound like that. I can still do it, but that's not my innate natural medium baseline tone, and there's a difference. Okay, so let's talk about you guys who are watching this, how to find your tone. Let's talk about some artists that they can compare to, okay? So you said Adele, right? All right, so if when you sing, you feel that you kind of err on Nikki's side, that you've got this textured sound to your voice. It's got more than just like this one layer, one level, but it's got more it's kind of starting to sound like that. You're not necessarily an alto, because you could have soprano range or even lower than alto range, but the tone of your voice is going to be thicker and deeper in texture, okay? Let's say you're a guy and you're watching this video and you're comparing, say, oh, do I sound like Ed Sheeran or do I sound like Jeff from Voice Play? It's not a matter of how low Jeff goes in Voice Play, because he's like super, like he's cray, right? But it's also not a matter of how high Ed Sheeran sounds. It's a matter of how they sound, how their voices sound within what they're singing. So Ed, how would you classify Ed's voice?
I think that his is more similar to yours, like for a man though. Like
Okay,
it's not super, super high, but it's more in the middle.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
more forward.
And I think Ed's natural tonality also has more breath than I do as well. I can input that into my voice because I know my baseline tone, which is why you guys are here today. But his has more natural breath, I think, unless he's manufacturing that, and I just don't know. But I hear him all the time sing his songs, and it all sounds the same in tonality. And so I want to say that that's his natural normal. Okay, most singers don't go out with the intention of affecting their voice. All right, so I would say that if you're more like Ed, then let's put an image to it, right? Then you have more of like, you know, a light blue silk type of voice, like raw silk. Like there's some little. She's like, I don't know what raw silk. Look it up, people. Look it up. You want to put images to this, so it's more like a light blue raw silk where there's some texture, but it's like finer. There's less of a drastic, dramatic kind of feel to it. It's smoother with a little bit of texture to it, right? And if you resound and resonate with that, then that's more like you. But if let's say you were like Jeff from Voice Play, you would be like black theater fabric, you know, like the curtains and the backdrop of the stage, like that's Jeff's voice. Like, I can't even come close, right? Never in a million years. But if you resonate with that, then you've got to know that if that's where you're starting and you want to manipulate your tone, which we'll get to in the next video, there are ways to do that, but you got to know where you're starting from. Let's do one more. Let's do someone that's maybe a female that's singing super high. You know, her range is high, but let's maybe Ariana Grande. Yeah. Okay, so let's.
Or Mariah.
Okay, that's really good example. So let's compare those two. I'm not saying, oh, I'm watching this video and I sound just like Mariah, or even Ariana, right? What I'm saying is your tone sounds the same. You don't even have to hit the same notes. But let's talk about Ariana's voice. Very bird-like, very flute-like, lots of air. If I had to compare her voice to an image, it would be like, you know, that curtain back there, white, see-through, not opaque, very airy, right?
That's how we know that you're getting married. Every example that you're giving is fabrics, because you're picking your dress and the napkins and everything. You just tell it on yourself. If I was painting pictures, I would be talking about some macaroni and cheese, greens, or a salad, like food.
Nikki's hungry.
I'm in a different place in my life.
I can't. Stop it. Oh my gosh. You are such a hot mess. Anyway, we were talking about Ariana Grande. She's off in mac and cheese land. Let's get back to it. So the fabric, people, the fabric. White, beautiful. I can see through it. It flows in the wind. That's Ariana's voice to me. If I'm talking about Mariah Carey, who, by the way, can hit the same notes. This is a great example, guys. Her voice, especially when it comes to even her head voice, there's more tone there. She's got breath, but it's not as breathy as Ariana's. And so there's
on top of the notes.
Yeah. Right. It's a little more pointed or forward. You know, think of like a much less exaggerated version. Mariah is, think of a more exaggerated version like Kristen Chenoweth, who's like, super pointed, right? Bam! But Mariah's, you've got that more frontal forward placement, kind of like mine, but when she goes up into her head voice, even if it's the same note as Ariana's, you would not hear the same tone when they're singing the same note. There's totally different tonal classification there. So I hope that gave you guys a little bit more of a tangible way to hold on to it. Let's give some audible examples right now of my tone and Nikki's tone. We'll just sing like, I don't know, let's just sing Happy Birthday, and that way they can hear. So tell us, guys, in the comments if you agree with how we classified our tone. And again, if you're still unsure after watching this video of how to kind of go about comparing yourself to other artists out there from what we've said in the video, I highly recommend that you get into the schedule of a vocal coach, whether it's here at TSS or somewhere in your local area. But we do teach online all over the world, and we would be happy to help you. It would take a single half-hour session to be able to classify this for you, so that again, you can go to the next video and then know how to change your tone, because it's super important. Coach Nikki would be happy to help you with that. So let's do a happy birthday. Why don't you give an exaggerated version of your tone? Happy birthday. What do you want to do?
I didn't want to do happy birthday.
You're such a vocal snob. What would you like to do?
A vocal snob?
You're a high maintenance vocal coach.
Well, that just means you gotta come correct.
On with it.
No, the national anthem. That was better.
Okay, fine. Then you don't have to do an exaggerated version. Just sing. Just do you, girl. Just do you. Sing part of the anthem. Go on.
Well, if I'm gonna sing it. Oh my gosh. And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proofs to the night. I'll stop there.
Keep going, sister. Keep going. I don't think anybody's hating on you for that. Okay, I kind of don't want to follow that at all. What'd you do to me, Nikki? Why? God. Okay, for the sake of the video, all right, I'm gonna sing the same thing in the same key, curse you, so that you can hear the difference between tones, okay? I have to do the sitting. All right.
You can go stand over here. So you can, because remember, support, singer stand.
You're so annoying.
We gotta do it right.
You're so annoying right now. All right, here we go. Get on my face. Here we go. And the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
See what I'm saying? I ain't do all that. Talk about. Since Tara Simon, she just put it down. Let's go.
Anyhow, guys, if you can tell, Nikki's was much more booming and resounding, and she's just got this huge microphone in her mouth, so to speak. Now, I could do that and change my tone. Again, you'll hear it on the next video, but that's not the way that my voice naturally is. Without me doing anything to it, that's how I sound. That's just how my voice wants to come out. So there's a more pointed forward and yet a slightly thinner sound to my voice than there is to Nikki's. Okay, there's a heaviness to her voice that mine doesn't have, and therefore it creates that depth that you're hearing from hers, which I can again manufacture, but it's not innately within me. Okay, so I hope that this helped you guys kind of determine your tone. And again, if you're still confused, please call us up. You can reach us at 404-437-7919 if you're in the States or you got Vonage somewhere, whatever. Or email the studio, info@terrasimonstudios.com. We'll get you to Tammy, our sales exec, and she will take great care of you and get you into one of our coaches' schedules. And Coach Nikki is available for those. Single session, get you done, and you will then know your vocal tone. Hopefully this video helped you get some clarification though. We would love to help you, or just, again, get with someone locally if it's not us. Just know it first before you go to change it, okay? Thank you so much for watching, guys. We want you to know that you watching these videos means the world to us because this is what we love. It's our passion, and the fact that we get to share that with you is truly a gift. And thank you for being passionate along with us about your vocal journey. So if you're wanting to go from good to great, check out these videos, get into one of the coaches' schedules. Make sure you also subscribe, click that little red button, and like us. Put in the comments box below as well what you would like us to do a tutorial to next. Thanks guys, we love you, we're proud of you, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.